get a moniker of being like the diva, which I never felt I deserved, which I don't deserve.
Apparently she has this rule that if she's like out amongst us peasants, we're not allowed to look her in the eye.
You can always trust in, oh God, family.
We do our best. We try our best.
You don't need to worry about Ben. Let me just tell you.
That they were seen in public together in, more than a month.
Yeah, 47 days.
47 days. The flowers were not for Ben, but they both showed up with flowers. They went to go see one of Ben's kids was starring in a play last night, a school play, and Jen was there as well with Emmy, and they all went in together as a family, and they went and saw the play, and then afterward, Ben drove Jen and Emmy home to Beverly Hills.
You won't believe the latest gossip. Where it is, Ben Affleck has just filed for a $500 million divorce from Jennifer Lopez. That's a staggering amount to fight over. But wait, it gets even better. Jennifer confronted Ben about the divorce, and it turned into a dramatic showdown. Sources close to the couple say emotions were running high during their talk. Jennifer was blindsided by the divorce filing and demanded to know why Ben would do such a thing. She believed their relationship was solid, but clearly something pushed him over the edge. Now everyone is wondering what went wrong. How did this power couple go from being deeply in love to heading to court? And what will happen to their vast fortune now that it's all on the line? Stay tuned, because we have all the details on this shocking split, and it's about to get even messier.
Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are clearly in a rough patch in their marriage of, less than 2 years at this point, because we know they are living in separate households right now.
I got back together, it was just like, I want to make music again. I want to get back in the studio. I was very, very inspired. And when I think about, I was like, the same way This Is Me then captured that moment in time without me realizing it. The first time we kind of fell in love, I wanted to capture this moment.
So Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez didn't just suddenly start hanging out together 2 weeks ago. He started reaching out to her in February, sending her emails.
You don't know what I'm talking about. J-Lo and Ben are going through it. Now, some people think that they're not getting divorced. And if that's the case, baby, I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn. Ben moved out. He got a house. J-Lo is shopping for houses over in New York or someplace else, and they are putting up a $61 million house that they haven't even owned for a year that J-Lo paid the bulk of. They're putting it back on the market. And get this, Ben, in his typical whiny fashion, is complaining, "Diddy was too far away from his children." Sir, you mean the house you looked for, the house you agreed to, the house that you had J-Lo put up her money after she sold her other house? You're now claiming you never wanted any parts of it because it was too far away from your kids. Never mind the fact that J-Lo moved her kids from Miami and everything they'd known just so you could be closer to your kids. And you literally had the nerve to complain that you had to drive an extra 10 minutes to see them. Y'all, let's get into this. I actually feel, like I said, really, really sorry for J-Lo, but we're going to follow this divorce to the bitter end. So anyway, J-Lo doesn't want this divorce to happen. She is now back to where she was in 2002, begging and pleading with Ben and letting him know that it can work and she can change. Listen, I don't care if you're a J-Lo fan or not. J-Lo is who she is. Ben needs to accept that. But on the other hand, J-Lo, Ben is who he is. And you need to accept that too. You are his option. You are the person where he feels like he wants razzmatazz and to dip his toe in the Hollywood scene. He gets with you. But as soon as you start to embarrass him, he pushes you away quick. Ben is also hanging around his friends that couldn't stand you the first time around. And now they're saying the same thing. Get this. They said J-Lo and Ben Affleck are not fully thrown in the towel on their marriage yet. Ben has. But just like 2002, J-Lo won't take the hint. Just one day after ET reported that J-Lo and Ben have put their marital home on the market, a source is sharing where the couple stands as rumors continue to swirl around the state of their relationship. Now, this is ET, Entertainment Tonight News. My guess is Benny Medina had his finger on this. So my guess is Ben didn't co-sign on this. So my guess is this is what J-Lo wants us to believe. A source, Benny Medina, I think, tells ET, Jen and Ben have been living separate lives, but have not officially separated. Ben has a new lease. Okay, you know what? I'm going to wait until Ben pops up with a new girl, and then we going to believe that separation. Or J-Lo with a new boyfriend, because you know J-Lo will move on quickity-dickety. At this point, they're just doing their own thing. They went into the relationship very optimistic and thought things could change, but they haven't. When it comes to their living situation, amid the listing of their $60.8 million Los Angeles compound, which they purchased just a year ago, the source shared that J-Lo is looking for places to set up shop as they attempt to take some space to figure things out. Now listen, everybody's marriage is different, but if your marriage consists of your husband moving out and getting a new home, you're searching for a new home, he's not leaving. He's going to stay right there hovering around his children, which is great. J-Lo needs to take the same advice. Where y'all think that's going? You're getting a home in New York. How's this marriage going to work out? You're going to see each other every Monday, Thursday, Friday? They're spending... Anyway, get this, right? A source continued, Jen is touring houses and shopping around for her own home. She's been leaning on her mom, sisters, and kids during this transitional period. You know, it'd be funny. Alex Rodriguez, like, get in there. Help J-Lo rebuild her life. You know you're good for it. Ben, who was previously married to Jen Garner and shares 3 children with her, has similarly been leaning on his close friends, including Matt Damon and family members who all remember how none of Ben's family came. Remember how Ben's dad did a interview when the wedding was going, talking about, what are you talking about, J-Lo? He literally said this to the Daily Mail. What are you talking about? J-Lo's the love of his life. I mean, maybe he never talked about her. We never heard him say anything about her. So I guess. Anyway, they said Ben is sad about it all, but focused on his work, being a great dad, and co-parenting well with Jennifer Garner. Now, this is the part that made me mad. Ben didn't say one word about J-Lo's kids. Remember how I said they were struggling to blend a family? Remember how J-Lo moved her kids all the way to Los Angeles so they could be with new daddy? Remember how J-Lo gave Ben a Father's Day post talking about, I love the father you are to your children and my children?
Get ready for some juicy details about how this fairy tale romance turned into a real mess. There have been whispers about trouble between J-Lo and Ben, but nobody expected the shock of a $500 million divorce. So, what went wrong? Sources suggest that J-Lo felt Ben wasn't making enough effort in their relationship. You know how it is. Small issues build up, and soon you're in separate rooms. But the real kicker, J-Lo apparently caught wind of some questionable behavior from Ben. Rumors are flying about secret meetings and private phone calls. They say where there's smoke, there's fire. And it seems like this fire could cost them $500 million.
To tell her, stop calling paparazzi, accept this is over, I don't want this anymore. J-Lo is apparently pleading, please, 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 I can change. And you leaked that it was a 4-hour date at the marital home they put up for sale. Please, that was Ben packing his mess up saying, okay, so the movers will be there. I don't even think he even moved the stuff in there. He was photographed leaving the property in his black Mercedes on Sunday evening, having spent 4 hours at the residence. How sad is it that your husband, while you guys are trying to figure it out, the most you've seen him in weeks is 4 hours? They hired a realtor, Santiago Arana, from the agency to handle the sale with a listing price of around $65 million. It's 43,000 square feet. This is a resort. Features 17 bedrooms, 30 bathrooms, parking for 80 vehicles, an indoor sports complex, sports bar, outdoor lounge areas, and a zero-edge pool. It sounds like a huge resort. Amid separation rumors, despite the rumors, J-Lo's been wearing her wedding ring. Ben says he hated that place because he thought that he never liked it. He thought it was too far away from his children. Okay. Jennifer is now saying it was way, way, way too big for her. You know, as much as they want to talk about whether they're on good terms or not, let's see if that movie that Ben was producing, that Jennifer was starring in, let's see if that movie ever sees the light of day. Let's see if they're even still working on that movie, because that would be the best indication on whether they're figuring things out or whether they've called it quits. Listen, I've said it once and I've said it again. J-Lo, this is back to 2002. And I don't even mean that to be funny. It's actually sad what Ben is doing to her. But this is 2002 all over again. I don't know, guys. What do y'all think about this? Are y'all hoping they get back together? I know J-Lo is. Ben is already checked out. I'm telling you, cross your fingers, J-Lo takes the hint. Because you know Ben, first he'll lose interest. Then, according to J-Lo, he'll become a lazy lover. They don't touch each other anymore. But the third thing, when she doesn't take the hint, he'll start being self-destructive. And if she still clings on, he will pop up with another woman or under another woman. And then J-Lo will be forced, like she did last time, to make him go to counseling before he finally finds a way to wiggle out of it.
Some people are saying that the pressure of being a power couple became too much. When both of you are at the top of your game, it's tough to make time for love. And with so much money at stake, their prenuptial agreement has to be solid. But others are speculating that there might be more to the story. Could there be another woman involved? Or maybe Ben just got tired of living in J-Lo's shadow? You know how fragile Hollywood egos can be. Whatever the reason, one thing is certain, this split is going to be messy. With $500 million on the line, both sides are gearing up for a legal battle. If the rumors about J-Lo confronting Ben are true, I wouldn't want to be in that room.
Lopez, oof, I actually feel really sorry for her. Do you know the Daily Mail just said that Ben Affleck has relapsed, and that is the number one reason for divorce? Now listen, you guys, we kind of predicted this even on the holidays. It looked a little weird. Y'all remember when Ben Affleck left his honeymoon and everybody said he was just sleeping in the sun. And I said, that looked like not enough to me, but whatever. Maybe Ben's not on the Jack and Coke. We saw him arguing with Jennifer Lopez over Look Like Wine, Jack Daniels. They're saying that the reason he ended it with J-Lo is because 1, he didn't like her. 2, he got sick of her. And 3, she wouldn't even let him have sneak a drink here and there. Now, why is this even more bad news? If you haven't seen my video, A-Rod basically laughed in J-Lo's face. He is deeply resentful to her, the way she dropped him like a ton of bricks and ghosted his daughters. Yes, he was allegedly caught cheating. And I'm not saying that J-Lo has to be with a cheater, but baby, the way she did his family, that was dirty. Especially when you consider that the reason A-Rod is laughing is because you left me a cheater to go with a guy that not only has relapsed and is drinking again amid the imminent divorce from J-Lo, right? A concern for former addict as friends reveal how the singer's family have now turned against him. Y'all, I know A-Rod is like, you left me, who got you into the inauguration, funded J-Lo Beauty, got you in the Super Bowl. When your Super Bowl movie flopped, right? I stood by your side and hugged you and said, well, guess what? She's mine. I'm going to stick with it. He was so tight with her kids that her kids were begging her to work it out with them. That's right. And what did J-Lo do? She took the kids away from everyone and everything they ever knew in Miami and moved them all the way to Los Angeles so she could have her dream wedding to Ben, because Ben didn't want to move more than 15 minutes around his children. Now, before y'all go in on me, that's what a good father is supposed to do. But the thing is, J-Lo, your job is to be a good mother for your children too. You know what I'm saying? You talk about it was fate. Fate told you to relocate your whole life, relocate your children, relocate everything to go live with a man that literally said after dating you for 2 years, he woke up from a fever dream. Why is this also not surprising? If you guys don't remember, when Ben left Jennifer Garner, the woman that kept him on the straight and narrow and covered up from, when he left Jennifer Garner, remember he did an interview on Howard Stern and tried to blame her for the reason that he had his addiction and relapsing, saying he was so miserable that he had to stay married to her, that he just stayed in his room and drank all the time because he felt trapped. And I said, yeah. And this is why him and J-Lo were engaged. And I said, yeah, you're not even doing the 12 steps. You're still trying to shift accountability. It's somebody else the reason you're drinking. It's somebody else that's making you this, instead of taking accountability for your own actions. Well, again, now we see why A-Rod is laughing, because he told her basically that Ben was a bum. When she first started dating Ben, right? Ben started writing her letters while she was with A-Rod. Now, mind you, A-Rod did cheat. They were working things out. But I'm just saying from A-Rod's point of view, he started writing her. Ben was writing letters encroaching. They were getting cozy while J-Lo was still with A-Rod. They were supposed to be working things out. A-Rod then went around the world trying to pop up where she was at, trying to woo her back, begging her to stay. And it was J-Lo's, it was her own prerogative to leave. A-Rod, you did her wrong. She had the right to leave. But again, I see how A-Rod is laughing because I don't think A-Rod expected her to ghost the children. And on top of that, you left me, someone that made you, helped your business, helped your career, stood by your side, was super tight with your kids, and we had culture and stuff like that, because I cheated to get back with a man that cheated on you, humiliated you, mocked you, and every time you start going down, he's actually embarrassed to stand by your side. Oh, no, 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 no. Anyway, they said fears are mounting for Ben Affleck's sobriety, with some sources claiming he's already drinking again as his divorce from J-Lo looms. Speaking exclusively to Daily Mail, friends say the actor, who has battled alcoholism and gambling addiction for decades, is suffering acute sadness as his marriage relapses. Now, I listen, like I said before, Ben does not look at J-Lo as the one. I'm sure he is very sad, but I think for a second he thought that J-Lo, the fire they have, the glitz, the glam, can make him happy. And again, you used J-Lo as your emotional scratching post, just like he used Jennifer Garner. To me, this is who Ben Affleck is. But a lot of people say it wasn't just a flop album. It wasn't the flop this. It was the fact that he found out that J-Lo is still mixed up with Diddy somehow. I don't think that they're still messing around. However, people are saying that J-Lo is helping Diddy with either bills. She's helping him with I don't know if it's lawyers, paying for the kids stuff, helping him with PR, whatever it is. J-Lo is still financially connected to Diddy, and Diddy's investigation has been expanded for money laundering. Who knows what's going to be in that indictment? The feds, people are saying, have questioned J-Lo. I think Ben was like, oh, no, 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 no. You were already getting on my last nerve and you're doing this mess? Oh, no, 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 no. Anyway, they're saying, I hear he's drinking. He's full of demons, a really troubled person. I've seen him looking glassy-eyed, and it's really worrying to everyone that cares about him. Yeah. Representatives for Ben did not respond to requests for comment. The revelation comes as J-Lo insiders also reveal that her mother has now turned against Ben Affleck, despite initially encouraging her to reignite the Bennifer romance. Now, Benny Medina openly dislikes J-Lo. I did hear in the gossip rumors that J-Lo was going to try to say the reason they split is because last time they were together, Ben made her fire Benny Medina and it ruined her career. And now she had to choose her career over Ben. Nice try. Because J-Lo, I don't care what you say. I know for a fact you would have chosen Benny Medina, at least I think, over Ben.
I've got all the juicy details about that confrontation between J-Lo and Ben. Sources say it was straight out of a telenovela. J-Lo stormed into their mansion, designer bags in tow, ready to confront Ben with fire in her eyes. She wasn't leaving without answers. She grilled him with tough questions. Why the divorce? What happened to till death do us part? And what's this about $500 million? I would have loved to be a fly on the wall for that chat. It gets even spicier. Rumor has it J-Lo had some dirt of her own to throw at Ben. You know what they say, sometimes the best defense is a good offense. The streets are buzzing, but no names are mentioned yet. One thing's for sure, that confrontation was intense. And with $500 million at stake, they were both ready to fight.
And I think the biggest indicator that Ben has, this might be true, that he's relapsed. Think about it, you guys. Every single time Ben relapses, Jennifer Garner comes to the rescue. And Ben's mom's around too. Jennifer Garner, shout out to Valerie Renee for sending me this. Jennifer Garner and Jennifer Lopez were spotted arriving at Ben Affleck's rental home amid his marital roles. They were spotted arriving separately at his home. Jennifer Garner had a big smile on her face. J-Lo looks cute. She kept that body going. There's a picture of her wearing white jeans and a blue shirt. She kept that body going. I know that's right. Anyway, yeah, you guys, this is, again, one of the reasons they arrived is because she was throwing a middle school graduation celebration for his 12-year-old son, Samuel, at the rental home. They also have 2 other children, Violet and Serafina. You guys, listen. J-Lo's mom's turned against Ben. J-Lo's looking for excuses. Ben does, to me, in the face, look like he relapsed. Who knows what's really going on, but something's going on. And the fact that Ben is just now throwing temper tantrums after you made this woman spend $61 million on a house, and J-Lo's worth 3 times more than Ben Affleck. You made this woman spend $63 million on a house. You made this woman do this, that, and the third. She eloped. You left the honeymoon early. You did this and that. I know A-Rod is sitting there laughing. He moved out. He's in $100,000 a month rental. J-Lo canceled her entire summer tour. I don't know if that was her choice. They want to salvage the marriage. I don't believe that at all. Again, it's 2002. Ben's trying to wait for J-Lo to take the clue. They're saying he's checked out of the marriage, but she has yet to accept the truth of the situations and thinks therapy might make it work. It's made all more difficult by the fact that we're dealing here with emotions of the 5 children they have between them. The reasons why it hasn't worked out are many, but when you lose J-Lo's family, you lose J-Lo. Her mom and sisters are against him, and Benny Medina also. You know that J-Lo also rekindled her friendship with Leah and Rimini. Again, they thought in 2022 because Leanne told J-Lo that she thinks that Ben wasn't properly committed and would end up hurting her. And look what happened. Y'all, listen. I don't know what's going on, but I do know that I know A-Rod is enjoying every minute of this. And if the rumors are true, and if we can believe what we see about how Ben Affleck has been looking a mess, as much as this hurts J-Lo, baby, she dodged a bullet.
The big question everyone is asking is, what happens next? How do you even untangle a $500 million divorce? Who gets the houses, cars, and private jets? And what about all those business deals and endorsements? It's enough to make your head spin. You know the lawyers are already sharpening their knives, ready to fight over every last penny. But with this kind of money, it's not just about the cash. It's about pride, ego, and who comes out on top. So buckle up, because this divorce drama is just heating up. We'll be here to spill all the tea every step of the way. But first, let's dive into just how much is really at stake in this high-profile split.
Man, J-Lo just keeps getting it worse and worse. Apparently, according to TMZ and Page Six and many outlets, Jennifer Garner was the one who showed up to Ben Affleck's house on Father's Day, and apparently the kids weren't there. The photographers didn't catch anything with the kids. Jennifer Garner showed up alone. Ben Affleck then left with Jennifer Garner alone, and J-Lo was nowhere in sight. And all this comes after J-Lo posted this photo of Ben Affleck, our hero. There it is, the story, as she put this on yesterday. Happy Father's Day. She then also shared one of her own father, Happy Father's Day, Daddy, the same one that she called out in The Greatest Love Story Never Told, which if you haven't yet seen, I implore you to go check it out. It's right here. J-Lo's movie is so bad. I watched it, so you don't have to. We also got an email from Megan, and yes, my wedding. I'm back from my wedding. But really, the one I'd love for you to watch is this, because let me tell you a quick story about J-Lo, since we're reporting on J-Lo. J-Lo and Amazon blocked this video for like 2 weeks. I had this video up for so long. I was waiting for the block to go away. I had to fight legally. Like, I fought back. Like, this is fair use, clear fair use, transformative fair use. Clearly, I was in the right. But what Amazon and J-Lo did is they turned off the monetization for that first 2 weeks. And I was on vacation, guys. I was on my honeymoon with my amazing, beautiful wife. I didn't have time to reshoot it. And I thought, whatever, I'm not going to let her silence me. We're going to post it, and then we'll make it all clear. Finally, today, this morning, Amazon cleared it because they had to, because it was clear fair use, but totally allowed it. So YouTube didn't even let ads run or anything. I couldn't make a single dollar on this video. And honestly, when videos are hits, that's what pays for the channel. When we finally get one of the hits, and this was the hit last week, and not a single dollar went to me. Why? I suspect because Amazon and JLo just sat on it until I released it. After a few days, the video sort of dies down. We're gonna change that right now. I want you to go rewatch it. I'm gonna put a little iCard up here. Or I'm gonna put it at the end as well. Now we're at the end of this video. If you're watching this, go watch that one next. Go leave a comment, go engage, let that video go, because I think this one has longer term growth, and I'm not gonna let JLo silence us, because it's imperative you see this video if you want to know the truth about JLo, Ben Affleck, and everything. And I see CNN is now copying everything I did. Brandon said this to me. The timing of this today, after I made that, it's very silly. I think it was Friday, a couple days after I posted mine, and now TMZ has gotten into the documentary. I'm imploring you. You can go watch the full Greatest Love Story Never Told on Amazon Prime, or you can watch my recap. Either way, my recap's going to open your eyes to a million things. And in that recap, I've come back to the story today. She calls out her father for being never there for her. He was always working late at night. Well, now it's Happy Father's Day, Daddy. Love you, Daddy. You called your dad out. You said he was never there. He was a workaholic. I was unloved. My mother was a narcissist. I am so sick of you, JLo, and your gaslighting of the whole world. Why did you call your dad out in the documentary? You got a limited bit, and the only time you spoke about your father, when you're talking about the greatest love story never told, how about the one that your dad was working his butt off to keep you in the block and high class in the block so you could get that orange drink from the bodega? But no, the only thing she mentions about her parents in the documentary is how they treated her so poorly. Oh, and that's why my life sucks, because I'm just constantly surrounding myself around people like my parents, because I'm so used to them being trash that's why I'm around trash people. Not that maybe you're trash. Not that maybe you need to spend some time alone, which she does. Now, I hate promoting TMZ documentaries. They're such garbage. They're just quick cash grabs. They shoot them quick, but they make some points in this that I can't deny. The crumbled relationship is part because she's a love addict, and it's true. They interviewed a bunch of experts, Dr. Drew, Dr. Phil, and producer, who's this guy without pants? He's literally sitting there without pants.
Seems to me that you need to have that alone time, which she's never had.
Never. You're 100% right. She does. She did. They both need it. 100%. She's a love and sex addict. Look at the men she's with. She can't be alone. She needs a man in her life. She has never spent any real time developing herself.
How does this guy know her? This weird guy who's clearly got his own issues.
And her career's in the and she's talented.
Is there such a thing as a love addict?
There are actually thousands of people engaged in 12-step programs who
Thousands. It's not a ton. It's just billions of people, right? And there's thousands.
identify as love addicted. And the features of that include not great boundaries, that they tend to get sucked into relationships readily, easily, and what we would call falling hard for people. And once they go in, they can't get themselves out.
Okay, I do believe she needs alone time. Now, I don't know how much I believe these experts. Dr. Drew has lost so much credibility for me and things he'll do for money. But at the end of the day, this is what's very telling. JLo is out there still calling Ben her hero. But meanwhile, Ben is out celebrating Father's Day with Jennifer Garner. Now, this is not that surprising given that he has kids with Jennifer Garner. But as TMZ reports, the kids weren't there. Ben Affleck spent time with his ex-wife Jennifer Garner, not his current wife JLo. Garner was photographed Sunday walking up to Ben's rental house in Brentwood, heading up the driveway solo in a relaxed fit, no one else in sight, including their 3 kids. Now, they could be inside, I suppose. The one person who was also not with Jennifer, the other Jennifer, who shouted out Ben on Instagram. Instead, it was Jen Garner who was hanging out for Ben's special day, and he even gave her a lift home later in the afternoon, pulling out of his crib with his signature BMW. Hard to make either of them out in these shots, but we're told he was definitely behind the wheel, as usually is, and that Jen was riding shotgun. Again, no sign of their children around the house, so on its face, it looks like Ben might have had a low-key Father's Day. Now, they could be in the back. They could be inside the house. Maybe that's what was happening. Still, Ben and Jennifer Garner made sure to have some alone time on Father's Day. I can't imagine that's going to sit well with J-Lo. I just can't. I can't. It's a complete 180 from last year's Father's Day post when she threw up a hot shot of her hubby, featured him shirtless, not to mention other loving photos of the two of them. Considering what she did this year, it speaks to the rift in their marriage, calling him a hero. They're trying to sell their house, as we know. Clearly things are bad. But yeah, you go back. This was last year's... look at this. Daddy appreciation post. Happy Father's Day, Papa. Happy Father's Day to all the amazing papas. We love you and appreciate it more than you ever know. Yeah, that was some cute photos and shirtless photos of Ben. Some thirst traps, I guess you might call it. This year, she's resorting to the "You're our hero. Don't forget it. Don't break up with me," is how this plays to me. I don't know about you. It reeks desperation. Look, I don't wish any ill will towards this couple or any couples. More power to them. Couple, it can be hard. Trust me. I'm aware. I've had my own ups and downs in relationships. You got to fight for it. You got to do the work. It's not always easy. You don't always get exactly what you want. And I'm rooting for them. I am. I know a lot of you want to just bully and harass J-Lo. That's not what I'm trying to do. I just think she needs to be humbled. She does. She needs to be aware that this documentary was ridiculous. And I do think it's a big move of Ben to be seen solo with his ex, Jennifer Garner, without the kids. It's strange to me. That's a sign. Now, I don't know if they're going to get back together. We talked about this last week, but it's a sign, and I can't imagine J-Lo seeing this.
Divorce is never cheap, but when it comes to J-Lo and Ben, we're in a whole different league. With $500 million at stake, both sides will be fighting hard for every last penny. So how do you even start to divide that kind of money? It won't be as simple as splitting it down the middle. This is going to be a long, drawn-out battle with lawyers and accountants working overtime.
Rubbing in the fact in Jennifer's face that he's out of it. He literally moved down the street from Jen Garner, but is spending all his time at Jen Garner's house. People are saying it's not just the Diddy stuff. It's not just the feds questioning. It's not just the embarrassment. It's the fact that Ben married J-Lo when he thought that Jennifer Garner was going to stay single forever. And now that she is about to get married to her long-term boyfriend / fiance, he really wants to make himself known because he can't stand the fact of her establishing a new house where he can't just stop over whenever he wants because she wants, again, I don't know if there's anything going on between them, a physical relationship, but I think it's fair to say that Jen Garner is his emotional jump off. That is his work wife, his emotional soulmate. It is everything that Jennifer Lopez does not seem to be able to be for Ben Affleck. Y'all, this is actually really low-key embarrassing. I feel sorry for Jennifer Lopez. I know people say she's difficult, and I know y'all keep hearing me say this, but the fact that he is literally having 2002 all over again. This is 2022 all over again. Even preferring Jen Garner's company over J-Lo's to the point of Jen Garner got a fiance. I know the fiance is like, why is Ben and his Jack Daniels breath always in the house, right? And she's probably making excuses. And he's like, hey, you guys want to go see your mom? And they're like, but we just left mom. Come on, let's go, guys. And he's over there all the time. Oh, gosh. This just goes to show. And you know how much Jennifer Lopez loves Ben Affleck and is obsessed with him. Even for her movie premiere of Atlas. It's probably why he broke up with her, because Atlas isn't going to do anything in the box office. Are y'all going to go see it? I'm not really into movies these days. They always disappoint. But a J-Lo movie, I saw The Greatest Love Story Ever Told. You already made me feel like a fool sitting there on my couch. You ain't gonna get me to get dressed and go in and see Atlas in the theaters, right? But they said every once in a while, this is her co-star Sterling Brown. Every once in a while, Ben would read lines to she said, and I think the newlyweds still very much in love. I think she just wanted to hear his voice. And then sometimes the reaction you get from her were because she was hearing her husband's voice. So Jennifer brought Ben into Atlas. The premise of Atlas is she's kind of like in space and he hears the voice, right? They said, so it's Jennifer plays a data analyst whose distrust of artificial intelligence is put to the test on a mission to capture a rogue robot. The AI named Smith is voiced by, Gregory James Cohen. But Ben helped his wife during their downtime on set to help her. So basically, when she's supposed to be talking to the other person, you hear Ben's voice talking her through, and she's having a loving conversation with her husband. Again,